Hello guys, it's Emma Seeds, and today I'll be sharing a trick with you. So my battery is not that good, so today I'll be talking about something teachers don't talk about, something lecturers don't talk about, but I feel like it's essential. These are things they don't tell you, but you need to know, and this can help you pass in a paper. So I'll be illustrating. Okay, let's get into the video. So before going for any paper or heading into any course unit or handling or dealing with any project that requires you to be assessed. So the most important thing is you should know the paper structure. So having the paper structure in mind, it will help you know what you are dealing with. I will be using a math paper. I will be illustrating using a math paper, and you will see that these calculations, they tend to link up. So one of the vital things you should be knowing is the paper structure. If you know your paper structure, that means you know what you are dealing with and you know what you are heading for. So if you try to look at a math paper, I will be using senior 4, and I will be using a senior 4 paper, but you can upgrade it to a senior. So this is to help starting from that level. So we adults, we can adjust to our papers, but if you try to look at the paper structure of the paper structure, so I'm going to show you how to pass it. You can't fail this paper with this. You can't fail any paper with this trick. So if you try to look at a math paper, it has two sections. It has section A and section B, and section A usually takes 40 marks, where you are provided 10 questions, and each question carries 4 marks. So you are trying to understand your paper. Then if you move to section B, you have 7 questions, and in those 7 questions you are meant to attempt 5 questions. So you have to choose 5 questions, then to make the total 60. So 12 times 5, that's 60, then plus the 4 times 10, that's 40. So 40 plus 60, that takes you to 100. So what do you need to pass this? What do you need after you understanding the paper structure? That means you don't have to do the whole paper to pass it. So most of the times we fail because we try to finish up the paper, we try to hurry up to finish up the paper, which is not the case. So in section A, or in the first section, you can look for your 7 numbers. You just have to look for your 7 numbers. So after you getting these 7 numbers, this will be of help to you. Okay, I was still telling you. So like you need 7 numbers in section A. So you take your time and do your 7 numbers. So these 7 numbers, so 7 times the 4, like that's the maximum. So you can do your 7. So 7 times 4, then you get your 28. So you have 28. So 28 out of 40. 28 out of 40 is not bad. So we shall come back to that. So far you have 28. So you take your time and just look for 7 good numbers you are good at. So that's 28. Then when you go to section B, you are given 7 questions where you are meant to pick or to choose 5 of your choice. So in these 5 of your choice, in these 5, you look for 3 questions. 3. At least in those 7 questions, in those 7, you can't fail to get 3 questions. So you try your best to pass those ones. So let us assume that you manage to get your 3 questions. So that is, you are multiplying 3 times 12 to give you the total of 36, isn't it? Yeah, it will give you a total of 36. So if you get your 36 and you add this 28, so you'll be having 64. See, you'll be having your 64. So you have not yet done the whole paper, but you have 64%. So this is like you are trying to understand the paper. So this is the trick of the paper structure. So if you know your paper, that means you have now 64%. So these things of getting like 30s, 20s, they don't work a lot. You look, most of the times we fail because we try to finish. Okay, we try to complete the paper. You try to do everything. You attempt. So even these numbers you are good at, you don't get enough time to do them. So you can get your 3 numbers. Take your time. You do them. So you have your 36 and 28. So that's 64. That's a good score. So let us assume you have now 64. So your question may come that what if, yes, I know this, I knew these I knew these 3 questions, but I can never make 12 out of 12. Yeah, we shall get to that. Then I knew some numbers in section A, some of the 7 numbers, but I didn't make 4 out of 4. So that doesn't mean that. So in these other questions, the remaining questions, remember in section A you are remaining with 3 questions. So if you can maximize it, maybe let's say that when we add those 3 remaining questions, your total mark is a 4. Remember, each question carries 4 marks. But let us say that you didn't perform well, so your total mark is a 4. So that means in all these 3 questions where you would have got 12 marks, you got 4, isn't it? Yeah, you got 4. So now we remember we had 64. So we shall add our 4 to make it 68. So we shall be having 68. So you see, so then we go back to our section B. Let's say you did 5 numbers, but you first did your three numbers. So we can assume that in these remaining numbers, these 2, which would have carried 24 marks, let's say the first one you got 5, even the next one maybe you got 6 or 5. So if I'm to take 6, that would be 6 plus 5, it will take me to 11. So remember, initially you had 68. So if you add 11, yes, you have 78. 78%, that's a B plus. It's a B plus. So 78 is not bad, but this is just a proof that you can work it out to an 80. You can work it out. The most important thing is not to fail it with a 50 or 49. It will cost you a lot. So if you know the paper structure, then that's good. Then if you are to go for a paper like these papers we do, where you are provided with 7 questions and you are meant to attempt 5 questions where each question carries 20 marks, then you should also know. So that means that if every question carries 20 marks and you need to pass that paper, how many questions are you meant to attempt? So you need to maximize your first 4 numbers. So that last number may not be of relevance to you. You maximize these 4 numbers. At least if in every number, you can't get 20 out of 20 in these papers. So if each number you can get, let's say 15 out of 20, 15 out of 20, 12 out of 20, like that, 17, like that. So when you get that, so the other remaining number, if it is the one which will try to balance out all these errors. So if you can make like 20, that will give you 79. So my major point is that you have to understand the paper structure. And after understanding this paper structure, the rest is your hard work, and you know what you are dealing with. In most cases, when you enter the paper and you just tick, you are told to attempt 4 numbers, attempt any 5. So by the time you don't know, you just tick and you start writing. But if you know what you are dealing with, or working with, failing may not be that of much to you. So just have to put in. Otherwise, MRCs, and if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Yeah, and if there's any video you want us to talk about, anything academic, this channel is more into academics. Then we also do some technology. Yeah, then we also teach some little computer. So if there's anything you want to know, feel free. Otherwise, have a nice day.